Okay, final page for our review. And this one is just some information off of a graph. So we've got a graph written here. This is certainly a piecewise function, but you'll recognize it's not piecewise linear in this case. But let's answer questions. So the domain in interval notation. So remember, with our domain, we will go from left to right. So as I travel from left to right, the first x value I see is -2. And I'm going to put a square bracket because I see a closed dot on that. And it looks like I continuously see x values. I get to -1, and I do have an x value, continuously up to 3, and I do have x values there. And then I see a gap. So from -2 to 3, and then the other point is just the point 4. So that's the point 4. Okay, so the interval from -2 to 3, every number between -2 and 3 is in my domain, and the number 4. Now the range in interval notation, so the range represents the y values. Start from the bottom of the graph. The first y value I see is -5. And it looks like I get y values continuously all the way up across the axis and up to the value of 3. And you'll notice at 3 there's an open circle. So the range is -5 to 3, including -5, not including 3. Does this graph represent a function? So the only question about it being a function is, can I draw vertical lines and cross more than once? So the graph there are no loops in the graph, or circles, so I know that that's not happening. So my only question are the points where I've got the 2 points. But everywhere I see that, I've got an open circle, closed circle, open circle, closed circle. So yes, this represents a function. And when it asks you to explain, well, graphically, you know that it passes the vertical line test. For a function. So that's one explanation just by looking at the graph. And the other thing, there are no repeated x or domain values, okay? Because when you look at this point 3, the point that's in my domain is this one that's filled in. The one that's not filled in is not in my domain. So that's how I tell that. So that should be the end of the review.